Hello, I'm Captain Jack and welcome to the Hangar Bay. On this channel, we take a deep dive into the best starships, technology, and more from your favourite sci-fi universes. Today, we're talking about Battlestar Galactica once again. Throughout the reimagined series, we mainly focus on the Battlestar Galactica, a Jupiter-class Battlestar in the Colonial Fleet. However, we've also seen the Battlestar Pegasus. But that's not all. Other Battlestars are seen and mentioned before. Most of them were destroyed in the fall of the 12 Colonies. So let's go over every known Battlestar in Battlestar Galactica. While you're here, consider supporting the Hangar Bay and the development of our YouTube videos by becoming a YouTube member. Simply hit that join button to learn more. Remember, for the latest videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, while you're here, what would you name a Battlestar if you were to command one? Comment your answers below. First, let's talk about the Jupiter-class Battlestars in Battlestar Galactica. The Jupiter-class Battlestar design was based on the previous Aretemis-class model and was designed to be a hybrid of a battleship and a carrier. Initially, 12 Jupiter-class Battlestars were ordered into production, one to represent each of the 12 colonies of Kobol. This was part of the Articles of Colonization. The Battlestar Archeron was a Jupiter-class Battlestar that served the Colonial Fleet during the First Cylon War. While it was attached to the Ghost Fleet, the Battlestar was ultimately destroyed in a Cylon ambush in the war's closing years. The Battlestar Archeron would participate in the colonial offensive known as Operation Clean Sweep. While taking part in the engagements, the Archeron and her accompanying Battlestar group came under heavy assault from Cylon forces. This forced the Colonial Admiralty to redeploy Battlestar Group 75 for immediate support for the Archeron and her accompanying ships. While under heavy fire and ignoring orders from the Battlestar Galactica, the Archeron jumped away to Sector 12 to join the Ghost Fleet. Shortly after redeployment, the Archeron was ordered to pick up Dr. Becca Kelly from Raptor 909 and aid her mission. Before she could do so, the Archeron was ambushed and destroyed by Cylon forces. While the Battlestar Galactica, which we'll talk about in a moment, is one of the most dedicated warships of the First Cylon War, Columbia easily comes close to this. The BC-70 Jupiter-class Columbia saw action during the First Cylon War in virtually all colonial campaigns. However, the final year of the Cylon War would be her downfall. Columbia was assigned to Operation Raptor Talon, along with Galactica and another unidentified Jupiter-class Battlestar. The operation saw the 3 colonial Battlestars and their fighters attempt an assault on Cylon forces over an ice planet. During the engagement, the midship defenses of Columbia failed and left her vulnerable. The Cylons took the opportunity and targeted the ship. While Colonial Vipers desperately tried to protect the Battlestar, Columbia sustained heavy damage with fires ripping through the top midsection of the mighty warship. Due to the intense firepower and the lack of those key defenses, Columbia ultimately is destroyed following a combination of heavy firepower and explosions ripping through the ship. Thankfully, before the destruction takes place, someone has enough time to warn the Colonial Viper pilots to break away from Columbia's airspace. The hull was ripped apart, sending fragments of the Battlestar into the planet below. Screams of the crew could be heard over the radios of the fighter pilots. The Battlestar Columbia marks the last known colonial ship to be lost during the First Cylon War. Shortly after the conflict of Operation Raptor Talon, the Cylons signed the peace accords and the war was over. The namesake of the Columbia would be remembered in the following decades. By the time of the fall of the 12 Colonies, another unknown Battlestar was named Columbia. It was destroyed over Virgon during the fall. Perhaps the most famous Jupiter-class Battlestar was the Battlestar Galactica, designated as 75. Like her sister ships, Galactica's origins lie within the First Cylon War. Galactica was one of the original order of 12 Battlestars. As each Battlestar was intended to represent one of the 12 colonies, Galactica would represent Caprica. Galactica would see action during the First Cylon War, while under the command of Commander Silas Nash. The Battlestar would also take part in the Ghost Fleet offensive. Following the end of the Cylon War, and by the time of the fall of the 12 colonies, Galactica was scheduled for decommission. The intent was to refurbish it as a museum. With the Cylon attack on the 12 colonies, Commander William Adama and the crew of the Battlestar Galactica were thrown into the action. Galactica would head to Ragnar Anchorage to resupply for an attempted counterattack. Following the arrival of the civilian fleet, Galactica eventually left the 12 colonies behind in search of a new home. We've done a complete breakdown of the last Battlestar here on the Hangar Bay channel. You can find that link below. Another of the original Jupiter-class Battlestars was the Battlestar Athena. It was the 5th Battlestar to be completed for the Colonial Fleet. This ship initially belonged to Pycon. Just days before it was delivered, the colony of Pycon was attacked by Cylon assault fleets. It's previously been mentioned that Sol-Tai of the Battlestar Galactica previously served aboard the Athena as a Viper pilot. The Battlestar Athena was known for taking part in some of the most desperate battles of the Cylon War, including the Battle of Gamaleon. This was a battle where Sol-Tai, fresh from pilot training, shot down 3 Cylon fighters. The fate of the Battlestar Athena is unknown. The Jupiter-class known as Demeter is the 8th Battlestar to be delivered. It was assigned to Archeron. Little is known about this Jupiter-class. It's referenced in the video game of Battlestar Galactica Deadlock. By the time of the fall of the colonies, this Battlestar was either destroyed or decommissioned. The Battlestar Prometheus was identified as a Jupiter-class Battlestar. However, little is known about this vessel. It is presumed either decommissioned or destroyed before the fall of the 12 colonies. Prometheus is only mentioned in the script of Battlestar Galactica Blood and Chrome. Sadly, it seems the Battlestar did not make it into the production properly. While the older Jupiter-class Battlestars from the First Silent War would end up either destroyed or decommissioned, it is clear the Colonial Fleet did construct more of the Battlestar class. Based on the information we have, out of the original 12 Jupiter-class Battlestars produced, 9 were destroyed or lost in the First Silent War, but they seem to survive the war intact, with the Battlestar Galactica surviving until the fall of the 12 colonies. During the fall of the 12 colonies, at least one Jupiter-class Battlestar is seen destroyed over Caprica, while 3 unknown Jupiter-class Battlestars are destroyed over Scorpia during the silent attack on the shipyards. It's possible that other Jupiter-class Battlestars were also produced after the war, and then destroyed around other colonies and military bases during the silent attack on the 12 colonies. Before we move on to the other Battlestars, we know there was an unknown Jupiter-class Battlestar taking part in the Ghost Fleet offensive. This vessel is not identified by name, but it was either destroyed or decommissioned. The Orion-class is often debated on whether it is actually a Battlestar or not. Some think of the Orion-class as a pocket Battlestar, but most assume the vessel design is that of a support or assault ship. We'll list the ship here anyway to save a debate, this time around. The Orion-class came in at a length of 359.6 meters, a width of 104.2 meters, and a height of 111.9 meters. Currently, the only known Orion-class is the assault ship Osiris. Like other Orion-class vessels, the Osiris was pulled from near retirement by the Colonial Fleet in their desperate attempt to combat the Cylon forces. During the closing years of the Cylon War, the Osiris was part of the Ghost Fleet offensive, a covert operation by Colonial Fleet Command to deal a crippling blow to Cylon forces by using ships that were faked as being destroyed or lost in combat. Osiris was dispatched to an ice planet which was within Cylon territory. While initially using her stealth systems to evade detection, Commander Ozar took the Osiris to engage a Cylon base star. Being badly outmatched, the Osiris sustained damage from the opening salvo of the base star, disabling the Orion-class's nuclear weapon launch doors. With crippling damage, and her Viper fighters being outnumbered 10 to 1, Commander Ozar set a collision course and rammed the base star. After a successful ram, Ozar manually detonated the nuclear weapons, destroying the Osiris and the Cylon base star. It seemed that after the First Cylon War, the Orion-class was likely retired, as none are seen during the fall of the 12 colonies. The Valkyrie-class Battlestar was commonly regarded as a new design, but in reality, the vessel's design has been in service to the individual colonies before the unification. As a much smaller warship, the Valkyrie-class measured a length of 647.8 meters, a width of 232.9 meters, and a height of 68.3 meters. The design of the Valkyrie-class seems to have been created as a light strike and reconnaissance ship. It was first deployed during the First Cylon War, but due to its versatility, many vessels remained in service and were active by the time of the fall of the 12 colonies. At some point before the fall, the Valkyrie-class was undergoing an update with a new design, which we'll designate as Flight 2. The main identifier for this new version of the vessel design was a spoiler-light winglet above the upper engine assembly. We'll go over the known Valkyrie-class Battlestars in a moment. However, we know of 5 Valkyrie-class Flight 1 Battlestars being destroyed at Scorpion Fleet shipyards during the fall of the colonies, and 2 Flight 2 vessels. One Valkyrie Battlestar was destroyed over Caprica. By the time of the fall of the 12 colonies, the Battlestar Yashuman was a Valkyrie class in service to the Colonial Fleet. It seemed that during the fall, the Yashuman acted as a flagship for Caprica's Orbital Defense Patrol, which did consist of 3 Valkyrie-class Battlestars. Moments before 0 hour, the Yashuman detected Cylon base stars and would relay this information to Caprica Control. During the confusion, the Yashuman was informed that the Cylons had infiltrated their systems and that Caprica Control's Dreadus was offline. With this, Yashuman initiated an unauthorized attack run. Due to the Cylons infiltrating the command navigation program, the Yashuman suffered a total system failure and was taken offline. It is presumed that the Valkyrie class and her other battlegroup ships were destroyed in the attack. Perhaps the most well-known Valkyrie class was the Battlestar Valkyrie. This vessel was a relic of the First Cylon War, but the ship was continually upgraded to maintain usefulness in the Colonial Fleet. As part of Battlestar Group 41, the Valkyrie saw action in classified operations, as well as the Capricorn Defense Patrol. At one point, the Valkyrie was under the command of William Adama. Colonial Fleet Admiral Peter Corman ordered the Valkyrie to take part in a Black Ops mission. The Colonial Fleet command had grown suspicious of a Cylon armament and was actively pushing the President to keep modernization of the fleet, to keep up with the hypothetical enemy. Per orders, Valkyrie jumped to the armistice line and launched a stealth-style recon craft across the border. It seems the Cylons detected the craft almost immediately. Commander Adama was forced to fire a missile at his own ship to prevent the Cylons from discovering a breach of the Scimitar peace accords. Later, the Valkyrie was destroyed above Caprica during the fall of the 12 Colonies. During the First Cylon War, the Aretemis-class was a type of Battlestar that was in service before the unification of the 12 Colonies. It predates the development of the Jupiter-class Battlestar. Before the introduction of the Jupiter-class, the Aretemis-class was the heaviest warship fielded by the colonies of the Cyrannus system. The design of the Aretemis-class revolutionized the warship design philosophy of the 12 Colonies. Its impact can still be seen, even more than half a century later, in the post-war Mercury-class Battlestar. The Aretemis-class measured at 1084.5 meters in length, 442.5 meters in width, and 145.7 meters in height. We don't actually know the names of any Aretemis-class Battlestars at the moment. However, a model display of one of these vessels was on board the Battlestar Galactica as part of a museum display on the First Cylon War. During the interwar period, the Colonial Fleet developed and produced the Mercury-class Battlestar. The goal was to supplement and eventually replace the aging Jupiter-class Battlestar design. At a length of 1,849 meters, a width of 734.9 meters, and a height of 330.9 meters, the Mercury-class provided upgrades in virtually every category. This included enhanced fighter carrying capacity and increased firepower for ship-to-ship combat. Before we talk about the Mercury-class Battlestar Pegasus, we don't actually know how many Mercury-class vessels were in service to the Colonial Fleet. It appears this design may have been quite costly, therefore not many were produced. One Battlestar that was mentioned during the fall of the 12 Colonies is the Battlestar Atlantia. The Battlestar Atlantia was in service to the Colonial Fleet during the fall of the 12 Colonies. During the Cylon attack, the Atlantia survived the initial assault, and with the destruction of Pycon Fleet headquarters, Admiral Nagala took personal command of the fleet, establishing the Atlantia as his flagship. The Atlantia was then destroyed by Cylon forces. It's never been identified what type of Battlestar class the Atlantia actually is. However, given that Admiral Nagala placed his flag on the Atlantia, it is highly likely the vessel was a Mercury-class Battlestar. Years prior to the fall of the 12 Colonies, the Battlestar Pegasus was under the command of Rear Admiral Helena Kane. The Pegasus was able to survive the fall of the 12 Colonies, as she was docked at Scorpio Fleet shipyards for a refit. As such, the command navigation program had been taken offline. When the Cylon forces arrived and commenced their attack, the Pegasus was able to make an emergency jump. Damage was sustained to the ship, but it escaped before almost being destroyed. Once confirmation of the destruction of the 12 Colonies was received, Pegasus, under Admiral Kane, commenced a series of guerrilla attacks against Cylon forces. Kane's determination to fight the Cylons, who destroyed the colonies, led her to ransack a civilian fleet for spare parts and engineering personnel. Eventually, the Battlestar Pegasus met up with the civilian fleet, which was protected by the Battlestar Galactica, the other surviving colonial Battlestar. Pegasus brought supplies and more military strength to Galactica's ragtag fleet. With the death of Admiral Kane and the promotion of William Adama, Pegasus was eventually placed under the command of Lee Adama. The ship was finally destroyed during the Battle of New Caprica, when Commander Lee Adama returned to save the Battlestar Galactica. Lee had left all his Vipers behind to protect the civilian fleet. As such, the Pegasus was without any cover from Cylon forces, and sustained heavy damage. In its final act, the Pegasus was set on a collision course and collided one of the Cylon base stars, destroying it within seconds as a result of internal explosions. Due to the explosion of the Battlestar, the starboard flight pod then collided with a second base star, also destroying it along with several Cylon raiders. Throughout Battlestar Galactica's history, several colonial Battlestars are mentioned but not identified. The Battlestar Solaria was one of these vessels. It was in service to the Colonial Fleet during the fall of the 12 Colonies. Like the Battlestar Atlantia, the Solaria survived the destruction of Pycon Fleet headquarters. Admiral Nagala ordered the ship to converge on Virgon to link up with Atlantia. Soon after this, the Solaria was disabled by the virus in the CMP, and destroyed in orbit of Virgon by Cylon forces. Another unidentified Battlestar was the Battlestar Triton. The vessel was in service to the Colonial Fleet following the First Silent War and was assigned to the Battlestar Group 39. This saw the vessel as part of the Aretemis Combat 5th Division. Before the fall of the 12 Colonies, Junior Lieutenant Cara Frey served aboard the Triton as a Viper pilot. Commander James Jonathan filed disciplinary charges against her. By the time of the fall of the 12 Colonies, the Triton was still in service. Lieutenant Alex Crashdown Cortero was an ECO and Raptor pilot, a part of Triton's crew. With the destruction of Pycon Fleet headquarters, the Battlestar Triton, along with the Atlantia, Columbia, and Solaria, gathered around Virgon and were destroyed by Cylon forces. A second vessel was called the Battlestar Columbia, likely being named after the Jupiter-class Battlestar Columbia we mentioned earlier. What class of Battlestar this is was not made clear, as it is not seen on screen. It appears that this Columbia was in service for at least a decade before the fall of the 12 Colonies. William Adama, at the rank of Colonel, served on the Columbia for 4 years, before being reassigned to the Valkyrie. The Columbia was also used as a testbed for the Viper Mark 7, when it was in its experimental stages. Chief Galen Tyrrell served as deck chief before eventually moving over to the Battlestar Galactica. When the Cylons launched their surprise attack, Columbia was ordered to join Admiral Nagala's task force. Due to the Cylons using a backdoor in the command navigation program, the task force, including the Battlestar Columbia, was destroyed over Virgon without putting up a fight. Another Battlestar we don't see on screen, but rather from the comic, is the Chronos-Type Battlestar Chronos. This is from the Battlestar Galactica Pegasus comic book. It seems that Chronos is the first Battlestar to be destroyed by enemy fire in almost 40 years, being attacked and destroyed only several days before the fall of the 12 Colonies. The Chronos had been dispatched following Colonial Fleet Command receiving a faint signal from Lieutenant Daniel Novacek, who had been presumed missing in action several years earlier. The Chronos headed to the Cylon border and came under attack from Cylon forces. It is presumed the Cylons were testing out their backdoor for the command navigation program, and the Chronos was destroyed by several nuclear warheads. Another Battlestar design originated from the Battlestar Galactica Pegasus comic book, specifically the Zodiac-Type. This Battlestar type was only seen docked at the Colonial Fleet hub. The book known as The Science of Battlestar Galactica makes reference to both the Battlestars Bellerophon and Ramses. We don't see these on screen. We know the names of several Colonial Battlestars in the series, however, these are only typically mentioned in the background or production material. Here are the names anyway, but keep in mind we don't know the class of Battlestar these ships belong to. We have a Battlestar Erasmus, Serenader, Defender, Night Flight, Maximilian, Walinu, Presidential, Sophisius, Savior, Acheron, Catalyst, Marksman, Galena, Stargazer, and another called Catalyst, the Phoenix, and finally the Battlestar Universal. A big thank you to the Battlestar Galactica wiki team for the content used in this video. Also, we'd like to thank the mod makers for Battlestar Galactica Fleet Commander, which is a mod for Homeworld. You can check out the links to both the wiki and the game mod down below in the video description. So that is every known Battlestar in Battlestar Galactica. It should be worth noting, we don't fully know the confirmed names of all 12 original Jupiter-class Battlestars. Several fan pieces have speculated names, but none are officially confirmed at this moment. Of course, for more Battlestar Galactica Starship videos, along with other sci-fi deep dives, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date. Don't forget, you can support videos here on the Hangar Bay by hitting that join button and becoming a YouTube member. Thanks to all those who have done so already, your support means the world to us. That's the end of this video. I've been Captain Jack in the Hangar Bay. Remember, if you're talking about science fiction, we want to hear about it.